If there is one.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Concentration. Dharana. Thank you. Thank you. Couple questions came out during the break. In the previous break, someone asked me why this is happening. Why the universe, if there is a why, in the stanzas of why this happens. And the problem with the why is very interesting. If we start talking about the why there is a universe, why there are the Chohans, why there is a purpose of life, we need to end up saying why there is space. At the very end, because why never stops, isn't that true? You answer a why, there is another why. You answer another why, there is another why. What is the last why? In Theosophy, why space? And that's how I started the talk. Why space? Why space? It's the magic and mystery of all. Why we have space? Why? Why we have space? Isn't that true? Why we have space with all this? Why are we here? So it's easy to say, well, since we are here, we have a divine plan. Right? So Plato never bothered with the why. Blavatsky said, don't think about the why. It's just devote your life to an ethical life and unveil the divine wisdom. That's good enough. If you really want to know the why not? Think about it, right? Find out for yourself. Try to contemplate the ultimate reality, which is the absolute. But Blavatsky already warned us, like the Mandukya Upanishad, that it's unthinkable. So you can't think about it. You have to contemplate, bless you. You have to contemplate it. And by contemplate the ultimate reality, you're going to find out that if you see what it means, it's not light, it's darkness. There is nothing there, but it's absolute. There is no answer. At least in our universe, we have darkness that is light. But behind this, in this darkness, there is what? It's a great mystery. It's still home, but there is no words to describe the last why. So, why do we ask? Because we love to ask why. Isn't that true? Why? Tell me about the beginning. I can't. There is always another beginning. Why? Because. But ultimately, all that is why there is space. Isn't that true? At the very end, you're going to end up why we have a universe, that all this is happening, and why there is space. And why there is space? Why?
Expression.
The expression. Why? And why? You can't stop asking why. And it's like a realization that you know, or you just don't know, right? Even if you say, I don't know, one thing is for sure. We got to live in harmony, right? If not, we're going to be in more pain and suffering. We don't want that. We want to have some space and some time to be in meditation, in contemplation, in study, in service, in work, because we help each other in our society, right? With our talents. And we have to pay bills and so on. But this is a society, right? We need that. But we can't be just chaotically killing each other and making each other suffering, right? So once we are here, it's very easy to say, let's be virtuous because we want to be civilized. Isn't that true? And that is the beginning of a search for the why. And the why in Theosophy or in Plato, in my opinion, stops in the ideas. Because if I know the ideas that shape the universe, I have that light, that illumination. It's very beautiful wisdom that I can get. So the why is very good to ask. It's a wonderful question, yet there is no ultimate answer besides, yeah, I got it. Yeah, why? Right? So it's something to contemplate. Another question they ask me is the number 4. What is the idea of 4? If we got the idea of the 3, is the third logos, right? Is the stanza 3, sloka 7, behold Oeahu the young. He is Quan Shayin, he's the Jehovah, that's the third. The fourth is 4. So the 1 is the 4. So the number 4 is really the 7 divine luminous suns, the first 7 breaths of the dragon of wisdom. So the stage 4, the number 4, is 7 divine beings, because when you have now the universe, the law of the universe is septenary. And that is in Theosophy when it says deity is law, law is deity, and this law, when the universe manifests, is always in a septenary, dimensional 7 planes with 7 principles, with 7 divine beings. And in the lower 4, you have the globes, right? Where we are now in that chain which call our home, the planet Earth, in the 4th globe. We got it? Yeah? So you need 7 divine beings because they are contemplating the ideas and establishing a septenary universe. So far, so good? Okay. Then we have the next movement, which we said is Fohat and the Lipikas. That's the next one. Remember? The Lipikas then are the sons of the suns, and Fohat are the combined breath of the suns. Yep, the activity. Fohat is the creative energy, the divine will, cosmic ideation, right? The willpower of creating in the human being is very important because that also manifests itself as willpower. Do we have willpower? Sometimes. Do you have the will to do what you need to do? Sometimes, right? It's very hard to manifest willpower 24/7. We're not lipikas. This is not our job. But when we want to concentrate, we want to have the willpower. We want to be master of ourselves, right? When it's time to sleep, let's sleep, right? Like a log, right? Let's not have nightmares. Let's not have insomnia. Let's just sleep. That means that you have a harmonious life, right? Now, if you have dreams, share them and we analyze them, right? There is some message in those dreams. Plato said that too. In dreams, you're going to manifest your needs. And that is fantastic too. Do you like to look at the dreams? Yes? Okay. Blavatsky has a chapter on dreams, remember? In the commentaries, there was one session that she spoke about dreams. And in the Blavatsky Lodge. You know that, right? It's very interesting. Look for it if you haven't. And the dreams to avoid is the ones that are produced after you eat an Italian dinner. Those are bad dreams. You know, with all those sauces and etc. But there is one dream that is very prophetic, very beautiful, where the higher self sees the ideas And if you remember them, you got it, right? These are incredible dreams. When you free the higher self and can see those great ideas, and now you are illuminated, you wake up and you say, wow, I saw it. What did I see? I don't remember, but I saw it. I saw it. Then comes in stanza 6. Now that we have the lipikas working and forehead ready to go, we have stanza 6. And in stanza 6 is telling us what's next. And what's next is the third logos. Remember, when you look at the third logos, just like when you saw the first logos, when you saw this first logos, what you see is duality. When you see the son of them, the third logos, and you look really close at Kuan Yin, what you see is another duality, just like the first logos. So looking in a close-up to Kuan Yin, you see that he's being embraced by Kuan Yin. And that means it's dual. And here is the female logos, the male logos. So in this very moment, the universe is informed with the idea of mercy and knowledge. And these are two words that Blavatsky used. And who knows what was in Censar? We don't speak Censar, right? You know that was the original language. She did tell us that stanza 6 came from a Chinese translation. It's a very old stanza, but it came from, she used the Chinese version. And in the Chinese version, it read like this: by the power of the Mother of Mercy and Knowledge, Kuan Yin, who is the triple of Kuan Yin, because the triple means is the mother, the wife, and the daughter of Kuan Yin, residing in her own heaven, Kuan Yin Tian, Fohat. You see, by the power of Kuan Yin, Fohat is going to do something. What? Is going to bring all the, from the lower abyss, the form of the universe, Shanteng. I don't speak Chinese, I'm sorry. Shanteng? Shanteng? Yeah, Shanteng. Anybody speak Chinese? No? That's cool. So Xianteng, how's that? Huh? Xiantang. So, by the power of the Mother of Mercy and Knowledge, Fohat is going to call forth the idea of the universe. The elusive form is the idea of the universe. Why elusive? Because we cannot see the archetypical idea, the divine plan of the universe, easily. We got to meditate so much. We got to be a third logos. We have to be Jupiter, Zeus, Jehovah, Kuan Yin, to be able to see the plan of the universe. Imagine, we're seeing the most brilliant light of being, not of a butterfly, but of the whole universe. This is very difficult to find. Where is it? Where is that plan? Well, it's very mysterious. It's in the lower abyss. It's in an elusive form, right? And to build that universe, we need the 7 elements. So this plan is going to be built with the idea of mercy and knowledge, with the 7 elements, with that forehead directed by the Mother, by the power of the Mother of Mercy and Knowledge. And then is the triple form of Kuan Yin, on Kuan Sha Yin. The triplicity here means that to tell us we got to remember that Kuan Yin is also the third logos, and is dual, and it has a mother, right? So Kuan Yin can be the mother of the third logos, as Swabhavat, right? So Kuan Yin means that she is the virgin Swabhavat in heaven, and also her name is used as the female Shakti of the third logos, and is also used as the most denser form of the Divine Mother of the cosmos as Kuan Yin. So Kuan Yin is the mother of Kuan Sha Yin as a second logos, is the wife of Kuan Yin in the third logos, is the daughter of Kuan Sha Yin as the next logos. You follow what I mean? It's the same name used over and over and over. It's not an aberration that the mom married and is the daughter. That makes no sense. This is what Blavatsky told us. This is mythology. So what we need to see there is duality all the way. So far, so good? So what happens in this very moment, the universe is being established by the primordial seven, which is really dual. Each of them has a female counterpart. The female is the Shakti. Every Dhyan Chohan represents a virtue, a force, a color, a vibration, right? And it has a Shakti provided by the female logos. And if you study that, those tankas and religions, you will get more and more and more, right? So if you like this, go to those religions like Tibet and India, Egypt, and look at this. It's very beautiful. The statuary, imagery is beautiful beyond belief. To see Osiris and Isis is so wonderful. To see Shiva with a wife and Vishnu and Brahman and is fantastic. All the Dhyan Chohans with their counter. It's just an incredible rhythm, right? Of Fohat and powers and what you're looking is at the ideas. Don't forget, we're looking at virtues, ideas, forces, and so on. Any question here? Any thoughts? We're looking at some ideas we're linking to work with them. So far, so good? Yes? And what I'm trying to do is to show that the stanzas give us a way to contemplate the universe and ourselves, as above, so below. No, they are not just explanation of a universe. They are the universe, if we can see those ideas at play. They are it. These are very powerful imagery and evoking us that we need to know in order to understand that. So at the very end of the stanzas of Dzyan, what we have is two more beholds. In stanza 7:1, remember there were two beholds in 3:7. Behold the divine dragon of wisdom, behold what they do. In stanza 7:1 is behold the beginning of sentient, formless life. This is the moment of the stanzas of Dzyan where life appears, organic life, so to speak. But this is formless. This is the astral model of the future organic life. You follow what I'm saying? So this is something to behold. Remember, one of the fundamental propositions in anthropogenesis is the astral form came before the physical form. And then this is what is telling us, behold that. Behold that there is a model, a formless life. Behold that there is an idea of life. This is another mystery, because how is it that a seemingly apparent universe, rocks and fires and clouds and radiation, a seemingly nonsense universe, in one moment life will show? Why? That is a mystery, like why we have space. If we really think this is random and there is no meaning, no purpose, why life shows up? Why not just a massive universe, just rocks and fire and clouds and radiation and neutrons and neutrinos and electromagnetical and all these things that science tells us that is out there? Why life shows up? Why? This is another beautiful question. Why? Isn't that true? Our answer is, well, look around. There is life. And once there is life, we got to learn it. And how to learn it? Virtuous life, right? And the laws of nature. And contemplating the ideas to see if it's true. So our occult research is very simple. Contemplate those ideas. And our way of life is very simple, a virtuous life. Remember, behind cosmogenesis and anthropogenesis, there is an aura of ethics, as described in The Voice of the Silence or in the Republic of Plato, and it's all about a virtuous life. Virtue is the antidote of our problems. If we have any problem in life, it's because we're transgressing, we are not doing well in one of the virtues. And we don't like to hear that from our friends, right? Or really good friends, or bad friends, or no friends. They become enemies immediately. This is what's wrong with us. We got to have feedback. Isn't that true? So if you want feedback, ask me. But I don't know you, right? I cannot give you feedback. So use someone who you know. Don't go to a stranger. Hey, how am I doing? I don't know you. You're doing good. But ask a friend. You know, we need to grow in this. And that's the ethics. There is always ethics here. Always ethics. In Theosophy, in Plato, everywhere, right? Now, the second behold is in stanza 7.5. And in 7.5, we already have the universe established. We have the the planetary chains. And this part is very difficult in the secret doctrine. Everything else is very easy. Isn't that true? And this part is extremely difficult. And everybody who says, please don't talk about the chains, the globes, the races, the this, the that, is very difficult. Well, everything is difficult, so to speak. But in 7.5, it says the following: the spark hangs from the flame by the finest thread of Fohat. Fohat is always there. It journeys through the 7 worlds of Maya. These are the 7 globes, right, of the planet. Or if you want, these are all the planets we're going to see, and so on, so on. It stops in the first world, and it's a metal and a stone. You remember when you were stoned And I'm not talking about I'm talking about mineral kingdom, right? Okay, thank you. So he stops in the first, and it's a metal and a stone. He passes into the second, and behold, a plant. This is another behold. How is it that from a stone we have something alive that we can actually detect? It's very difficult to see life in a stone. Isn't that true? Very difficult. So, how is it that the next kingdom is a plant that grows, right? And it has a seed and beautiful plant, right? Beautiful tree and fruit. It's something to behold. Have you stopped and looked at that? How the mineral kingdom and the vegetable kingdom are so different. So different. So it's asking us to behold that magic moment in the movement of the monads. Then we have the animal kingdom, then we have the human kingdom. In the Secret Doctrine, Blavatsky spoke of 10 kingdoms in one of the pages. And she says, related to the human beings, there are 3 kingdoms before the mineral kingdoms. They are elemental kingdoms, 3 of them. And after the human, there are 3 Dhyan kingdoms. You see that? In total, 3, 4, 3 is 10 kingdoms related to the human being. Now, Blavatsky also said that all the monads have to pass through elemental kingdoms, the physical kingdoms, and when they are through the human kingdoms, they'll become divine beings. You remember that? Third fundamental proposition. Passing through the elemental kingdom, we go through the 4 physical kingdoms, and then we'll be someday transcendental, beyond human. We graduate. So remember in occultism, just because it's not physical, it doesn't mean it's transcendent. It could be elementary. You see what I'm saying? It could be an elemental kingdom, less than human. Things not to mess around. What is the role of the elemental kingdom in nature? They are the workers of the Dhyan who were ex-human beings. They contemplate ideas and they need workers. The workers are the elemental kingdoms, right? Very well described in Walt Disney movies, but it's not true. They are not little humans. They are elemental. They don't even have the capacity of the mineral kingdom. So if you see the king of the gnomes, that is fantasy. It's not true. They have no kings. The kings don't have wives. We give them human attributes to them. It's not true in Theosophy. That doesn't happen. Only in Ireland. Right? And I'm not going to tell you why. Because maybe there's no. So the elemental kingdom are just, look at them like a flow of energy. Monads that are flowing under the direction, the guidance of the Dhyan who contemplate the ideas, and we need to establish a universe. That universe is being built and formed by elementals. What Blavatsky tells us, if we disrupt that ecology, we can attract elementals because of our will, right? And if we don't know how to operate elementals, how to work with them, now you have them with you. They need energy. Now, the energy of the Anchohan is to work with them. The energy of us is barely to work with ourselves. So what looked really cool in one moment, as an alchemist, to bring an elemental and make a golem or homunculi like Paracelso, may not be cool if you don't know what to do with it. You see what I mean? And what do you do with someone who feeds from you? It's very difficult. First, don't ask me. I have no clue. So don't deal with that. That's what Blavatsky says. That's what Blavatsky says. Isn't that good? It's very important. They are part of nature. They flow with the willpower of the Dhyan Chohan. You disrupt that, you bring some to you. Right? And they are there sucking your energy. They just need that will. And I just think like if I'm walking down the street and I have someone, hey, I need energy. I need energy. You look like crazy, right? And there are several out there like that too, right? Isn't that true? So elemental kingdom is something to be aware of. And so the Dhyan Chohans, and they have that connection. We just part of it. We are part of it. But we are living in those worlds. So Theosophy establishes a beautiful universe, sevenfolded, with globes and chains and for us to develop. And in one moment, as human beings, we can contemplate those ideas. I want to leave it like this. I want to open for some questions and answers, give you 10, 15 minutes to see if you have any. If not, I'll wrap it up. But yes.
Yes, at the beginning of the day you mentioned that...
Yes, at the beginning of the day you mentioned that there is an option of the book being refused from the book of human life.
Oh yeah, the closest, right?
Yes. So
yes.
Would that implicate that devolution is possible?
Okay, so what the Mahatma letter says, that when a person dies, if there is any thought, harmonious, virtuous, you continue your path of life, death, life, death. If you have committed, no, I'm sorry, in two conditions they say that will be closed. An irredeemable sin and bestiality. So these are the words that they use. If a person is irredeemable sinner, and that's very Christian, irredeemable sinner, or committed bestiality, then the book of life is closed. And what means for that is, if you remember, is that at the moment of death, or later on after death, if we are the quaternary, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't have space, right? Atma, Buddhi, Manas, Kama, astral, prana, and physical, right? If the unredeemable happens, Kama, during the second death, or the fight between these two, there is nothing beautiful from mana that goes with Buddhi into Devachan, or gestation before that. There is absolutely nothing here. And therefore, the monad without manas cannot continue the evolution process. And then this is gone. Without Atma Buddhi, there is no life left. And this This cannot die, monads don't die, but the book of your life, the Sutratma, with, you know, the string of all your life, all your memories, everything that has happened is closed to this one. It's a very sad moment, but it happens very rare,
Yes,
so
I can
to
imagine.
speak.
That's only the case when someone who would be bestial would not have any virtue in his
Exactly,
being.
not even one thought,
Yes.
I would say, right?
Yes, I would say that does not exist.
Or very rare,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Very rare. Imagine that.
And does it also mean that the cycle of karma stops, ends there? Okay.
Because that's all is needed in manas, right?
Yeah.
This is what manas give. The quintessence of manas, the best of manas, right? And the army of skandhas that is next to it, shaping the next life, right? The skandhas, and so on. There is no nidanas to form the next life. There is no longing to progress, correct? So it's very rare. So in a way, we need to remind people, have a good thought, do a good action, be a good neighbor, right? Just in case, right? Just in case. You know, we want to continue all these guys. So we have to remind people, love your neighbor, have one good thought, you know. Give me a piece of bread. No. You know? So get one piece of, you know, anything, right? It's so rare, isn't it? But it's there.
Well, thank
It's
God
there.
it's so rare.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I hope so. Any other questions, thoughts? Yes, sir.
In that very rare case, could you say that... thank you very much for your introduction today.
Yeah.
To continue the reflection on this dire thought of the very rare case that you mentioned, could you say that then those lower parts will sleep for, say, 7 eternities?
Well, again, then, and now we need to open to speculation. We can only say what the Mahatma wrote in the letter, right? So I would say that there is a long rest. How long? I think it's the Manvantara where it's at. Remember what happens in stanza 3. It says here, stanza 3 is the emergence of the monad from the state of absorption within the one. In stanza 3, it depicts the emergence of the monads from their state of absorption within the one, which also means each monad is going to go to the place of where it belongs. So the monads are going to now travel through the monadic impulse, through what they left in the previous life, to the next stage. Let's say my next stage is to be a human being, then that's my next stage. But I have information of my past, correct? So if I have no information of the past, how far back do I go to start again? How far is that countless universes, manvantaras, that I need to restart again? I like your idea of 7 eternities, right? That's a big punishment. But let's say it's a very long. Do I start even before the elementals, at the atomic, subatomic, underatomic, way no atomic, right, level? Don't know. But it's very long time, because there is no information of who I am. It's just manas buddhi. It looks very long. So 7 eternities is a good thing. But again, it's very long, right? Yes, sir.
One thing, perhaps it's a question. Yeah. Hi. Thank you. Perhaps it's a question which takes a little bit too much time, but I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the things that for me is a very interesting question, and I take it with me, is that at what point the silent watcher is born, to say it very simply, when you think about the birth of a cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's, we study it a lot. It's, it gives also a great idea of a being who has completely understood the unity of everything and lives for the unity.
Right.
And can you say something about that?
Well, that's when romance comes into my soul, right? Someone who is there radiating, right, the path. Isn't that true? Reminding the path. Super compassionate, right, about this. So we never alone, because there is constant radiation, light, from heart to heart. So very romantic about this. Oh yes, I'm not alone. It's so cool. And this is a mystical moment, right? It's not like I'm going to have dinner with a silent watcher, and we're going to have a great conversation. But there is a connection, right? An incredible connection. Yet we lose it sometimes, the feeling of that connection, especially when we are depressed. When we're depressed, we are in a different moment of total collapse, of all the light. There is no light anywhere. And then there is suicide. Like, where is that connection? Why I don't have a connection just before suicide? How many thousands of people commit suicide? Where is the silent watcher? Why that connection disappear? Out of compassion, where is that? Where is that light? Why they don't have enough strength to see it and to continue, even like the phoenix bird, right? Out of the ashes, correct? Come out. And why they think that death is the only way out, which we know in Theosophy. There is no way out, right? This is it. We have to work it out. Yet there are thousands of fellow travelers who commit suicide every day, I think in this planet. What happened to them? So I become very romantic, but then reality sinks in. Yet it's not working for all of us. Why? So I have to make sure that my friends and my family don't go to that state of total, just lost in their mind. I want to make sure that light is always there. So in a way, as an analogy, I need to be with my fellow friends and family, that silent watcher to tell them, hey, in problems, I'm there for you. There is light. There is always hope, etc., etc. So we as Theosophists, that we know more, we need to be the expression of that mystery, because it works for us, but it's not working for everybody. And then, their book of life is not closed. It's just messed up, right? Their Kama Loka is going to be really strange. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen. And in the few instances that friend of mine committed suicide, I really felt it. I don't know if you have friends and family members who committed suicide. It's really a terrible happening when hope is gone. All the hope. They couldn't cope with it. And I wasn't there, right? Why I wasn't there? Why I didn't see it? So for me, that's more important, to answer the question of what is my role, that knowing that I'm not doing enough. So that for me, I want to be that light and that hope and that lighthouse for them. and then I have a purpose, and then I fulfill my destiny. For me, that's more important than something that a lot of people cannot even start to think about it. But now that I know that, why don't I move on to the next level and help? So that is my quest, right? To continue that light. Another thoughts?
Yeah, don't you think that the whole structure of the universe is made of compassion? It's like Blavatsky said in The Voice that compassion is the law of laws.
Yes.
So that every top of a hierarchy, if you call it the law code of the silent watcher or whatever, is there because of compassion. He's waiting for beings less developed to help. And that idea is a very splendid and beautiful idea for all of us to follow.
Yeah.
And just the problem that you gave about suicide and helping others, that idea is a very beautiful inspiration for all of us to help our brothers. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very good thought. And in fact, is it working? Are we helping our brothers, right? Are we really helping with that idea? That idea exists, but it's really happening. So are there less suicide? Are there less trouble? Do we have advanced the light in society? And I don't have the answer. I don't have the numbers, but I have the realization that what you said, we have to do it. There is an action needed in my life to do it. With whom, if I tell you, you already know it, because we studied that. But people who I meet at work, people who I meet in my family and my friends, they don't know this higher truth, right? So the probability that one of you will commit suicide and the probability that one where I work commits suicide is different, because I don't have clairvoyance to see your souls and their souls, but we know this truth and they don't, right? So I need to be in the world helping, right, while I study and contemplate these holy ideas to nurture my soul. Yes, so I do believe that. I do believe that compassion is the law of the law, right? I do believe that the universe is permeated with mercy and knowledge. I already prove it in myself by contemplating some of this. But yet, in the world, there is a lot of suffering. Lots of suffering. And there is a lot of pain. And we need to work on that level too. And it's not like to tell them, the law of law is compassion. Oh yeah, okay, pa, okay. What happens? You did like that. It's a strange humor, I know. But you see, we need to approach that at a different level. So I don't have the answer though, but at a different level. Another thoughts? Yes?
How do you look at near-death experiences? What do you think about that?
It's very interesting that. Have I ever had a near-death experience? Yes. So let me share you one. I was in a car with friends. This is in Caracas, going out of town. It was raining. I was next to the driver, and we lost control. And it was a 5-lane freeway. Highway, thank you. Highway. In Los Angeles, we use freeway, but highway. And we were in the fastest lane. It was raining. We lost control. We were 4 friends going out of town. And the car is sliding. And I had I have the tunnel of light. It just happened. In the whole life, like the master says, this is before I read the Mahatma letter. It's flooded. I saw my life flooded. You know, it just came down, all my life. I saw some light and it flooded all my memories. It just dropped into my mind. And then when I was in that incredible moment, he recovered the control. And he said, wow, we made it. And I said, wow, I was like almost dead. So, this is a good thing. Yeah. So I have that experience twice. And the other was in a drop in an airplane. Same thing, right? I had that experience. So that's what I myself experienced. I have friends that experience something even better than that, right? And so I do believe that there is something what the Mahatma letters describe, right? My friend had a heart attack, and he's an agnostic, doesn't believe in anything, and he's taken to the hospital. And when he got to the hospital, his head was a little farther out in the, what is it called, gurney, and they opened the door with his head. Right? And he said, I want to sue the hospital, but he was already dead. They declared him dead in the ambulance. So what they were going to do is to try to shock him, right? And he came out of life, and he had a big bruise in the head, and he saw it. He saw it. So and I said, Frank, do you now believe? He says, I don't know. I don't know. This is very strange.
I don't know is an opening, of course.
That's right. It's very cool, right? I don't know. So what about you? Did you have a good experience? This is the moment that we share, right? Out of death experience. I mean, out of body, out of death experience. But yeah, I had those two very minor, where my body thought, my mind thought, I'm going to die, right? And then the process described in the Mahatma letter happened. Dumping of the memory, some visions, and it just happened. It just incredible, twice in my life. It just happened. So this is a delightful topic for dinner in a Theosophical society. Isn't that true? Our experiences of just about to die, or if you will remember the previous life when we died, right? Did you sank in a ship, you know, in the Pacific Ocean, and so on. So yes, so I did have. I don't know if that's what you wanted to hear, but yes, I do believe, and I love stories and reading about that because I experienced a little bit of that. I was never dead and resuscitated. That's the word, right? Resuscitated. One more? Any other? Yes, Johanna.
All those hours we studied with you, I was always asking myself, where in the 7 stanzas is the panoramic vision before birth?
Okay.
Yes, when you awaken in Devachan and so on. But can I think that all the behold parts are in fact on different levels, something like that panoramic vision?
A behold, right?
Yes, the behold.
See. Which is full of light.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. Huh? That could be. I'm going to think about that. That's very... And I'll write you an email.
And we hear it next year from you.
Well, that was short. Do you have one more? One more? Well, yeah, yes.
In the study, you also told us a lot about analogies, using analogies. What are your ideas on using this whole process you explained, and what is there in the stanzas as an analogy in our just daily life?
Wow. You think we still have an hour, Erwin, mercy. Mercy. It's 5:03. Mercy. So the short answer is yes. A little bit more answer is, as the universe awakes to life, so a human being awakes to life, right? As the human being goes into a sleep mode, right, without dreams, so the universe is going to that, right? Because that's the vocabulary used in the stanzas of Dzyan. So it's very easy to see that in one moment we lose awareness of ourselves. There's no mind, right? Because there is no higher self active in the physical. And in one moment, time was not. Isn't that true? So how many times you fall asleep, you fall, or you meditating, and time is not? True? How many times you fall in love with a flower, with a cloud, and you lose yourself, and time is not? Isn't that true? And you come back and you say, wow, that looked like an eternity, but it's only 2 seconds. Or the opposite. That looked like 2 seconds, it's an eternity. It's been 15 minutes. I'm late to dinner. Things like that. So yes, so the process of the universe going into pralaya or coming out of pralaya is analogous to a human being going into a deep meditation, or where time is not, right? Mind is not. We're in that high trance, right? Where the higher self can then be free. Or going into sleep, where is, remember this, what I spoke about symbolic distance. When you do analogies, you have to see. So sleep is a lower analogy than meditation, than the universe into pralaya. So it's a very beautiful work to see how the process of consciousness goes from awake to what the stanza describes is we are in sleepless, right? What's the word in English? Dreamless sleep, right? So you go into the various stages of consciousness and you are like the universe in a sleepless, dreamless sleep. Sleepless is hard. Right? Eventually you fall asleep. So yes, totally one-to-one. But in likeness, right? Likeness. Analogy is not sameness, it's likeness. So it's a very good point. It's a very good point. Herman told me we have till 6 o'clock. Isn't that true? Herman, come on.
True.
It's not true. Oh, Herman.
No.
Herman,
We have
6 o'clock.
we have till
bummer.
6 for how do you call that? Running off. So we can speak with each other. We can have a drink. So that is a little bit more relaxed. Coming down. Otherwise, the shock to the outer world will be too big for us. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
I'd like to say something that I think in the name of all, also these people and the people we studied together with in the past days and so on, we like it very much. You have opened a door for us, and I think we open a door for you, not for only once. So we have to stay in contact. We like to give you some books we recently published. The whole series is not yet finished, but we promise you that we will keep you updated. No. That will be quite soon. So we keep you updated. We are a little bit shy because we know your suitcases are already full with the Azure books, and now you get another few kilos. So let's say in this way, if you run out of your allowed amount of weight, we will pay the over weight. So then we are sure that you are taken with you. Martin, thank you very much. It was really a great experience you have here.
Thank you. And so for me. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you. Thank you. I love you all. Therefore, we are in, like a concert, there is something a little more, right? If you clap, we... Thank you. Thank you all. This is not a concert, right? Right? Now you expecting a concert to get one more piece?